It is a remarkable day here on the West Coast as we're ready once again for Winston Cup Series racing in the 2000 season at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the CarsDirect.com 400. A beautiful day in Las Vegas, Nevada for the 5th race for JRTV's coverage of the 2000 NASCAR Winston Cup Series season. It's been an amazing first 4 races to kick off the season. This 5th one definitely going to be not much different than the first 4. We've seen action-packed with some different faces at the front. This is going to be one exciting show here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Definitely not the first time these cars have raced at this track, but it is one of the first races at this racetrack. Fairly new surface, fairly newly built track here in Las Vegas. So there are some unknowns about this track for some of the teams, and as the track obviously starts to age a little bit, that will change the track even more. So as you mentioned, a beautiful day, clear skies here in Las Vegas, highs in the 80s, just a little bit of a breeze. It is near perfect temperature, near perfect weather in general to go racing here in Las Vegas. And the man on pole definitely loving the day. Anthony Hernandez in the 1 DI has had a really good weekend here at Las Vegas so far. Eli Bright led practice in the 8 car. His teammate Hernandez claims pole position for the CarsDirect.com 400. So we'll see what the DI cars can do. They both start inside the top 15 here today. But the big talking point of this whole season has been Hendrick Motorsports. Keegan Thompson, their lead drivers, won 2 races this season, the Daytona 500 and the race at Rockingham. And all 3 of their cars once again start inside the top 10. Zidell had a good day last race at Homestead. Brett Sierra also had a good day inside the top 5. Sierra looking to gain that momentum and keep it going as well. We'll see what Hendrick can do as all 3 of the cars once again start inside the top 10. Watch for Richard Childress Racing. They had some really fast hot rods in Homestead. This is a very similar track to that as both their cars start inside the top 11. And for Joe Gibbs Racing, they found their footing at Homestead, starting both cars on the front row with Chris Jericho in the 18 winning that one. They both start inside the top 10 at 6th place for Wells and 10th place for Chris Jericho. But also watch out for the Fords. They did not look fast in practice. However, for Roush Racing, they looked pretty sporty in qualifying. Same with Robert Yates Racing. As you see right there, 2 Roush cars start inside the top 3 with Keyshawn Richardson in 2nd and Nathan Stapleton in 3rd in the 97. So some track facts about the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Only 12 degrees of banking in the corners and straightaways, both banked differently as well. A little bit more banking on the front straightaway than we see on the back straightaway. Just a few races here before this season. This race not terribly long, 54 laps long, just like what we saw at Homestead. The fuel window anywhere from 30 to 33 laps. However, remember at Homestead, that fuel window was cut immediately in half. They pitted as soon as they could because the tire fall off. The fall off here not as bad, but they still fall off by at least a second over a fuel run. So watch for that throughout this race. These times will start to fade off. The tires will fade off, and we'll see who has the better long run car throughout this race. So watch out for a lot of those factors to play into this. Is a hot day as well, so the tires will wear even more than they would normally. This might be the hottest day we've had in terms of racing so far this season. So we're getting down to time for the green flag. Let's go on trackside to get those most famous words in motorsports to fire the engines up for racing in Las Vegas.
Drivers, start your engines.
There roll off the 42 cars for racing at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway newly built racetrack. And on pole, Anthony Hernandez comes in 35th in points. It's not been a good season for this DEI driver. Hernandez looking to turn it around here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway pole position. What can he do in that number 1 car? He was outside the top 20 in practice. However, he's shown the pace here in qualifying to try and get it done. Watch out for the man starting in 4th as well. Justin Zidell's the best average finish this season. Comes in 9 points behind his teammate Keegan Thompson. For the points lead, Thompson starts 7th, Zidell starts 4th. But Zidell, the most consistent driver so far this season, can use that consistency here at Las Vegas to keep that trend going. And watch for the man starting in 10th, Chris Jericho. Starts 2nd at Homestead, a track very similar to here with low banks. He ended up winning that one after falling back through the field, but then came back up after the pit stop and passed Conrad Evans to the final 15 or so laps to win the race. Last race, can he go for back-to-back and that number 18. Pace car to pit road. Anthony Hernandez and Keyshawn Richardson are the front rows that come down to take the green flag. It's waving in the air. We're underway from Las Vegas. What a jump for the inside lane already. Nathan Stapleton takes the lead from Anthony Hernandez in the one car, who might get put up top 3 wide. Bardo cannot get to the middle of that. Zeidel's middle of 3 with his teammate down low. Keegan Thompson flies through up to second on lap 1 as Stapleton leads the first lap with the number 97. Thompson to second, Hernandez back to third. 3 wide behind to turn 1. Sierra on the bottom. You can see Bardo diving low. Conrad Evans, Eli Bright getting low. Wells and Jericho both in the middle for Joe Gibbs Racing. Up top, some cars like Keyshawn Richardson and Luke Rain, who started on the top side. They're still stuck up there. Still side by side for the third spot. Bardo is on the inside. Hernandez is on the outside. Sierra gets moved up by Evans. As for the lead, here comes Thompson low on Nathan Stapleton. Car number 5 leads the second lap. Keegan Thompson leads to turn 1. He is the new leader here in the CarsTrack.com 400. Bardo for second. Hernandez down in line in 4th. Evans is up to 5th. Eli Bright from 13th up to 6th. Laura Chung coming with them. And here comes Chris Jericho on the inside. Luke Rain still stuck in the middle. Jordan Stout down low as they all battle into turns 3 and 4, as they know that these restarts and starts are going to be the most important time of this race. That is where you can gain most of your track position throughout the going. Bardo moves to second by Nathan Stapleton. Hernandez moves back up to third in the one car, but it's still the 5 of Keegan Thompson leading to turn 1. The DEI cars now third and fourth with Hernandez and Eli Bright. So they've had a good start to the race. I know Hernandez didn't get to lead, obviously, from pole, but Eli Bright started 13th up to 4th. He comes in 5th in points for a DEI car that is really, really good at this point in the season. So we'll see if Eli can continue that momentum throughout this season. Obviously, only 4 races in, but at this stage, that 8 has looked strong. And speaking of strong, Anthony Hernandez going inside of Trey Bardo in the 3. Hernandez wants second back. Jericho, our last race winner, just moved inside the top 5, getting by Lord Chung, but now he's under fire from Jordan Stout along with Mitchell Collins. There goes Stout to the inside. How about Sebastian Kukulon? Started back around 20th place. Kukulon making gains on the inside and currently up inside the top 10, that 17, with a flying restart and start for that number 17. As Hernandez still side by side with Bardo, he'll take the second spot away, and Eli Bright's teammate trying to filter through to third. That's been amazing for DI so far. I know Hernandez didn't get the start he wanted. Stapleton got a better one and shuffled him out, but I mean, he's gaining it back in this longer run. Eli Bright for sure also gaining some spots. Behind them, they battle for 4th place. Bardo's going to clear on the outside to keep that 4th. Jordan Stout will get in line in 5th. Kukulon still trucking on the inside lane, the 17, bringing Zeidel back to the inside with them as Bardo wants 3rd place back from Eli Bright. Hernandez trying to gain on Keegan Thompson. Bardo moves low. There goes Kukulon looking low. Zeidel with them. Bardo is beneath Eli Bright to turn number 1. Once again, these are flatter corners, not as flat as Homestead. Homestead's 6 degrees of banking. Here at Vegas, it's 12 degrees of banking, so double that, but it's kind of like what we saw at California. California's 14 degrees of banking. Obviously, the corner's just a little bit wider as well there. Front 2 get away. Bardo moves back up to 3rd. Now Jordan Stout will move to 4th by Eli Bright. The outside definitely not the place to be early on in this race. Once the tires wear out, it's going to be harder to start making passes, and that's where you can maybe see the outside just be able to keep positions and not necessarily lose them. I don't think you'd be going up there to make passes, but I think if you get put up there, you could try and fight hard as Zeidel looks 3 wide down the backstretch on 2 forwards. Sebastian Kukulon for Roush Racing, Jordan Stout for Robert Yates Racing. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, it's 3 Chevrolets from 3 different teams. Keegan Thompson out of Hendrick Motorsports, Anthony Hernandez out of Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, and then Trey Bardo out of Richard Childress Racing. They're right now 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, but it's still Thompson pulling away with the lead in the 5 car. Kukulon now in 4th, Zeidel back up to 5th in the 24. Nathan Stapleton back up to 6th after losing the lead after lap 1. Mathis Wells trying to get some spots back in the 20. Matthew Burnett getting by Eli Bright, who's got caught on the top side, has nowhere to go. Roger Ray had a really good practice run, but a terrible qualifying result for the 55 put him back in the field. But now the 55 moving up and trying to get inside the top 10. And just behind him, Caden Lynn, who's not a good season for Team Sabco. The 40's had a good season. Anderson Reed's up 3rd in points, but for Caden Lynn, he's been just hitting nothing out of this season. Lynn looking to get his way up into the top 10. Just behind him, Jay Rando, another driver looking for some speed this season. His teammates Jack Haas and Laura Chung have shown some great pace. Rando has not, but so far he's the highest Bill Davis entry, and that number 22 to his outside Chris Jericho won the last race. Rennie finally got a good qualifying result, but he started on the outside, now fell back, but now getting back on the inside, 3 wide in front of Jay Rando. Caden Lynn is inside Eli Brent, Jordan Stout, as Trey Bartle makes the pass for a second on Anthony Hernandez, bringing Kukulon to the inside as well. Still 3 wide back here. Eli Brent still stuck in the middle. Jordan Stout still up top. 2 Penske Fords go at it. Luke Rennie inside of Mitchell Collins. Keyshawn Richardson starts second. He's just behind this. Chris Jericho starts 10th. He's just behind as well. He'll look to dive bottom 3. Stout shoves up the racetrack just barely in the groove. Jericho looking to get those spots. Eli Brent still looking for a way down in line in the 8 car. Randall's still making nice gains. He's now up to a battle for 10th place. As you can see, Hernandez was still fighting for that second spot. Bardo finally clears. Now Kukulon has to find a way around the 1 car in a hurry, along with the 20 of Mathis Wells. Kukulon will move to 3rd place in the 17. Wells looking for 4th. And here comes some more of Kukulon's teammates. I had mentioned how the Fords did not look fast in practice. The only one that really looked sporty was Keyshawn Richardson, who practiced in 3rd place, and he was obviously the highest starting Ford, but all the Fords right now looking strong in the race. Kukulon right now to 3rd. Nathan Stapleton trying to fight for a top 5 with Anthony Hernandez. Matthew Burnett was making gains through the field. Luke Rennie and Mitchell Collins look pretty sporty. Oh, we have a car in the wall. That's Jordan Stout. Did he make contact with someone? Is there a wreck? Yes, there is. The yellow will come out. And that was Laura Chung, Mitchell Collins, and Jordan Stout. They're all involved in this one, all running pretty well. Keegan Thompson's lead is erased, and now the fuel mileage is very interesting. We're going to come around to 40 to go when pit road opens. So the question is, with 40 to go, do you pit now and try and maybe make your second pit stop shorter, or do you stay out to keep that track position? You'll have to make another stop anyway, so why not stay out? That would be my guess, but if you're further back in the field, maybe you come down, get 4 tires, try and work your way through the field, and then maybe on the last stop, you pit with around 10 to go, you take 2 tires, so this could be an interesting play here. We'll have to see what drivers do. Looks like the leaders might be thinking about coming down pit lane. What do they do? Does anyone do anything different? Thompson will pit from the lead. So now we'll have to see what everyone does. So far, it looks like everyone wanting to do the strategy of coming down now, getting maybe 4 tires now, and then maybe doing 2 or something later on. Because at the moment, 4 to go, you'll go with around maybe 38, 37 to go. Yeah, I don't see them making it from there, but they'll be about, 7, 10 laps short. So I think this is worth the gamble right here. Take 4 now and then do 2 later. As all these drivers are entering their pit stalls, we'll see what the number 1 pit stall for Anthony Hernandez can do on pit road. He was obviously a little bit further back, but we'll see how it works out. What does Keegan Thompson's crew do on pit roads? Kukulon gets hit, leaving by Luca Iger, who gets into his stall as Thompson will leave now. Kukulon will be behind him, and Trey Bartle's going to lose some ground on pit road as it's a long extended stay for the 3 car. So it's Keegan Thompson out first, Kukulon second, Stapleton will be 3rd, and then a log jam 4th on back. So the first yellow is out here in the Las Vegas Motor Speedway race, the CarsDirect.com 400. Let's go see what happens. Keegan Thompson leads the field off pit road in the 5 car. 3 wide racing into turn number 1. We were just focusing on this battle a few laps prior. Went back up to focus on the battle for a second, but Laura Chung is down low 3 wide on 2 Fords, Jordan Stout and Mitchell Collins. Chung will miss the bottom, slide up off the bottom, just barely gets in the Stout, and then puts them both up the track. Collins on the outside, can't go any higher, and it spins the 23 of Chung around hard into the outside concrete. Collins as well gets collected. Stout able to drive away with minimal damage on that 88 car, but definitely the most severe damage to Laura Chung. I think she'll be done for the day. Mitchell Collins on the 12, also pretty significant damage on that car, and obviously loss of track position for the number 12 of Mitchell Collins. Everyone else able to miss this crash as they get low and get by. One final look at this going off to turn number 1, and this was just aggressive racing just outside the top 10. Everyone fighting for everything they can get, and just some contact and hard hit for Chung, and an unfortunate ending for Laura Chung, who failed inspection after qualifying last race, and now here had a fast car that looked like an out early on. The caution is out for the first time today, and the CarsDirect.com 400 will go green just before the midpoint here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Keegan Thompson leads the field on the pit road and leads off pit road, but it's new second place man. Thompson now leads Sebastian Kukulon in the restart at Las Vegas. The field will take the green flag this time by. The first accident cleaned up here today at Las Vegas, and only one retiree. Lower chunk to the garage. She'll be done after a hard impact with the outside concrete. Collins and Stout still going. Collins now back in 41st. Stout mid-pack in the 24th position, kind of where he merged, but some drivers that were up towards the front falling back there. We'll talk about them in just a little bit. So at the front, it's Keegan Thompson in the 5 leading the way. Kukulon now the second place man, the 17. Stapleton looked fast on the short run in 3rd. What can Wells do now in line in 4th? And Caden Lynn up to 5th in the 42. Matthew Burnett is 6th. Jay Randall up to 7th. Trey Bardo extended stop for the 3 car. Went from 2nd place to 8th for the restart. Luke Rennie is now 9th and Roger Ray is 10th. Chris Jericho's back in 11th. Eli Bray is 12th. Jack Haas is 13th. Lathan Strickland is 14th. And Justin Seidel back to 15th. Good stop for Jimmy Stewart Jr. They're up to 16th. Sears back at 17th. Evans back at 18th. Corbett failed inspection but up to 19th. Riley's Bridgman is 20th. How about Noah Clifton 21st? There are 30 points. Anderson Reed all the way back here. Anthony is outside the top 25 in the 1 car after starting on pole in the CarsDirect.com 400. Coming back to the green flag, Keegan Thompson with the lead in the 5 car. And it's Kukulon in 2nd. They come down, green flag waving in the wind once again at Las Vegas. Good restart for the front two, especially Sebastian Kukulon. Timed that really well as a run to the 5. Wells did not time it from 4th and is under fire from Lynn, but he gets a nice arc and trying to get to Stapleton, who also not get a good restart. Down the backstretch of the race. Still Thompson leading, led the most laps today. Wells fighting for 3rd with Nathan Stapleton diving to the inside of the 97. Wells for P3. Caden Lynn trying to follow through on the inside. Wells now for 2nd on Sebastian Kukulon. That 17 not good through 3 and 4 well at all, and Thompson opens up a 3/10 of an advantage. Wells to 2nd place, trying to show the strength of Joe Gibbs Racing Pontiacs, but he's under fire for Caden Lynn's team, Stabco Chevrolet. Lynn trying to fight to the front. Bardo gaining spots after losing them on pit road. Went from 2nd to 8th, already up for 4th on Kukulon. He'll get it looking for 3rd on Caden Lynn. Don't tell me Bardo's not driving angry, because he's definitely driving pretty aggressively right now in that 3 car. How about some underdogs? Rando up inside the top 5 with Roger Ray in tow. Matthew Burnett's done well in points so far this season. He's top 5 in the point standings, trying to chase down Keegan Thompson, who does not want to see the 5 car winning this race. And Rando getting a push for 4th place. And Bardo looking for 2nd, gaining those spots in a hurry. He is definitely one aggressive, angry driver. 3 wide for Roger Ray for 4th. How about Roger Ray forcing the low to the inside of Rando and Lynn? Racing off to turn 1. Bardo's a peak for the lead. He's gaining on Keegan Thompson. Burnett goes 3 wide as well behind the front 4. Luke Rennie also 3 wide in the 2. For the lead comes Trey Bardo. Inside of Keegan Thompson. His final appearance at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and Trey Bardo leads the race. Bardo, the most wins in the Winston Cup Series, looking for one final one to end out his career. He leads in Las Vegas. The front 5 get away as they battle 3 wide for 6th. Luke Rennie up to P6. Jack Haas up to 7th, looking for that 6th spot. Jericho in the middle of the 3 with Caden Lynn and Jay Rando, just behind this Lathan Strickland and Justin Seidel. It's getting aggressive just inside the top 10. These drivers fight for every position they can get. Kukulon's falling in line in the 17, but he's under fire from Mitch Corbett, who started last in this race. Corbett flying through the field in the 66, top 15 for that driver. What a race for Mitch Corbett. This is outstanding, the recovery he's had so far. Now he's under fire for Spurley, 2 up at the front, still 3 wide inside the top 10. Caden Lynn on the inside. Jericho in the middle. On the outside, it's Luke Rennie. A few get away. They battle for 3rd. It's Wells on the outside and Roger Ray on the inside. How about Andy Petrie Racing so far this season? Did not expect Lathan Strickland to go out there and win at the California Speedway, and have not expected Roger Ray to run inside the top 3 here at Las Vegas, but here they are. And Strickland's not that far behind as well. The 33 is doing pretty well for himself, just outside the top 10. Right behind Rando and Seidel and Jericho and Luke Rennie. That's some pretty good company to be around. Jericho under fire from Seidel. Once again, best average finish of the season for Seidel. He's trying to gain on his teammate Thompson for the points lead, but so far, Thompson's led the most laps in this race at the moment, and also running in 2nd would extend that points gap over his teammate Seidel. Thompson can only see the 3 car getting smaller out the windshield. The 3 gaining just a little bit lap after lap. It's not much, but it's enough to make Thompson maybe worry and push a little bit more aggressively. Ray under fire for 3rd place. That's Matthew Burnett on his bumper. Wells currently holding a top 5 spot pretty well, but Jack Haas right up to his bumper might look for 5th place for Bill Davis Racing. What a run that would be for Jack Haas. There he goes looking inside Wells. 2 Pontiacs going at it for 5th. Good run for Bill Davis Racing right here. 2 of their cars running strong. Obviously the other one DNF'd and out, but Brandon Haas definitely stepping up to the occasion right now. We're nearing the midpoint of this race. The battle for 2nd. Ray stepping out on Keegan Thompson. Thompson able to maintain that 2nd place for now. Down the backstretch of the race, Ray gaining on the 5 cars. Zidell and Jericho are not going to let this battle go away easily. This is a battle for 8th. Jericho had it a lap ago. Zidell took it, but then in 3 and 4, Jericho looked to take it back from Zidell, and now they're still fighting for that spot. Jericho at the line will get it in the 18. The battle's on for 2nd. Roger Ray's inside of Keegan Thompson. Roger Ray's going to take 2nd place from the points leader. And Jericho will get by Zidell. If they sort that battle out, maybe they have cars to run up here inside the top few. 3 wide for 2nd. How about Matthew Burnett forcing to the inside of the 16? These drivers get so aggressive. Maybe some contact makes her 3 wide for the 2nd spot. Halfway this time by. 1/2 distance done. And the carsdirect.com forward 1 caution flag. Some intense racing inside the top 10. Burnett through to 2nd. Jack Haas looking for 3rd place as Trey Bartle in the 3 leads. Ray's going to be able to keep 3rd, but Haas is going to maybe get the 4th from Keegan Thompson. And as these guys battle, some fast cars are coming. Jericho and Zidell. Seaver coming back to the front in the 25. Same with Keyshawn Richardson. Conrad Evans trying to fight off Mitch Corbett. That is the battle right now for 17th. And while Evans could be very disappointed to be running there, Mitch Corbett's loving running there. His teammate is also in the top 20, Nolan Lawrence. So what a good run for Haas Carter Motorsports. Both their cars running pretty good so far. Richardson on Caden Lynn. That's battle for 14th, just behind the front 13. Lathan Strickland just up there. Seaver's looking on a spot on Luke Rainey. Meanwhile, they're still battling. Thompson fading back in the 5 on the outside. Jack Haas now on the outside. Getting passed by Mathis Wells, who's up to 4th. The battle for 2nd, it's Roger Ray again on Matthew Burnett. Ray's not going to let that 2nd place get away, and the more they battle, the more Bartle loves it. The 3 car able to get away, but once again, we think that everyone's going to have to make 1 more pit stop, so for Trey Bardo has put trust and faith in his pit crew. How about Nathan Stapleton? Going for 5th place on Jack Haas. Stapleton running well. He needs this confidence booster for sure because he's not had a good start to this season. Keegan Thompson getting back by Jack Haas, but here comes Thompson's fight for the championship lead at the moment. Zidell coming right up behind him as Ray again steps out for the 2nd spot on Burnett. Bartles pulled in almost 3/10 of a second advantage over the guys behind. As they just keep battling, Bardo keeps pulling. That time, Wells and Burnett both get whipped the track. Wells will definitely lose that spot to Stapleton, maybe even the spot to Thompson, and Ray will be able to clear Matthew Burnett for 2nd, but he has a good ways to go to catch Trey Bardo. The gap is just over 3/10 of a second. Here comes Jack Haas on Wells, trying to gain some of those spots back that he lost. Zidell just behind that, and here comes Chris Jericho, and just inside the top 10, Jay Randall just outside it. Brett Seaver, Luke Rainey, and Keyshawn Richardson. There's Caden Lynn under fire from Riley Spurleytube. Strickland under fire from Mitch Corbett. How about Noah Clifton? Haven't talked about the 32 enough today. Clifton is inside the top 20, just outside the top 20. Give a shout out to these drivers. How about Nathan Baird? How about Ryan Wilson and Bippy Ruiz? They're all running well. The 44, another car that failed inspection. Cars we thought would do better, those DI cars. Eli Bright is outside the top 20, currently back in the 26th position. His teammate Anthony Hernandez, Colin Teague as well is back here. Anthony Hernandez nowhere to be seen, currently back, battling for 32nd with Sebastian Kukulan. Kukulan restarts 2nd in this race. He had contact on pit road. I have to wonder if that did some damage to that 17 aerodynamically, because he's way back outside the top 30 now. Yepez also, he's had a really solid start to the season, but Yepez not having a good day. Jacob Boyd, another single car organization that's had a good season, but not a good day here today. Luca Iger might have back-to-back days that have just not been good. So it's still Bardo leading. Ray still in 2nd. Stapleton now to 3rd. Thompson back up to 4th. The battle for 5th. Haas is inside of Matthew Burnett. Teammates swapped the 8th position. Jericho now P8, Wells back to 9th. The battle for 10th, Sierra moves by Jay Brando. Brett Sierra's now top 10. Luke Rennie to 11th by Brando. Keyshawn Richardson behind that battle, and then the battle behind that. It's Caden Lynn and Riley Spurgeon just behind that. Mitch Corbett just behind that. Conrad Evans. Strickland back in the battle with, it looks like that was Stout and Clifton. Now Zidell forced tie by Jericho. Haas still trying to get by Matthew Burnett for 5th. The battle for 2nd soon going to be an interesting one. Stapleton has a faster car than Ray at this moment. So we're in the final 20 laps. Remember, they pitted with around 40 to go. That means that they're going to pit anywhere for the final 7 to 10 laps for more fuel. And you would think, with how short that pit stop's going to be for fuel, they would only do, at most, 2 tires, maybe even none. Stapleton up to 2nd by Roger Ray. Thompson, who's led some of the most laps today with Trey Bardo, gaining some spots back as Ray with a dive bomb moving to turn 3 for 2nd again. Not giving it up. I mean, Ray's motto today has just been go hard and try and get every spot you can and keep every spot you can. And Roger Ray's doing that for sure. Just dove bomb. Stapleton will get by for 2nd. Now Stapleton will lose 3rd to Keegan Thompson. Chris Jericho, Brett Sierra gaining through the pack. Jericho got to 6th by Burnett. Sierra looks for 7th as the top 5 is just in front of them. Matthews Wells is low on Justin Zidell. Just behind that, these drivers can try and fight inside the top 10. Luke Rennie, Jay Brando, and Keyshawn Richardson, maybe even Riley Spurgeon, was just clear Caden Lynn to get his way up to 14th. Jericho will clear for 6th, but now he's under fire for Brett Sierra, who wants that 6th spot. The 25 did not start this race well, but is definitely racing well in this number 25. And now Stapleton back to 5th place. Fell back behind Jack Haas, who's up to 4th now. Sierra and Jericho still side by side. Haas able to clear Stapleton down the back. Sierra pulling even again with Jericho as they race off into 3 and 4. Jericho, they're using the middle lane well to just keep with that 25 just enough to aggravate him for sure, but Sierra that time will clear. Now he looks for 5th on Stapleton. Jericho might get in line from his teammate Wells, who has a nice run coming. Jericho does not take that move to the inside, lets his teammate down in. Zidell now outside the top 10, the 24. Move Luke Rennie to the top 10, and Wells gets tight under teammate Jericho, and Jericho's going to be able to keep that spot. Stapleton now back to 6th and trying to look to get by Brett Sierra to get his way back inside the top 5. Front 7 are clear in single file. The battle for the lead is not going away. It's still 3 fast Chevrolets, Trey Bardo, Roger Ray, and Keegan Thompson. And we're in the final 15 laps. Now on the CarsDirect.com 400. Once again, pit stops are imminent. They could go about 30 to 33 laps on a tank of fuel. And they pitted with 40 to go, so think about they went green with maybe 38, 37 to go. They're going to be about 7 to 10 laps short. Looks like we have some short pitters. Jack Haas is going to pit now with 15 to go. It's going to stack the field up behind them. But Haas and Spurgeon, we're going to do some short pits here to try and maybe differ this strategy and maybe gain some track position. What do they do with this strategy? If you're Jack Haas, do you think maybe you're stuck in some dirty air and you just wanted to get through it? Bardo leads them off turn 2. When do they pit? Maybe they're going to pit sooner than expected. What does Haas do on his pit stop? Will it be 2 or 4? With this many laps left, do you put 4 on it? They will go with 4 tires. The rest of the field so far staying at the battle for a second. Thompson is inside Roger Ray. The pack fanning up behind as they all try and get spots. But those front 2 definitely doing the short pit. They're looking to put 4 on, and then with those 4 tires, try and gain the time that they might lose. It's an interesting call for sure. It's a different call. We'll have to see what Haas and Spurgeon can do with it. Haas came in around 5th place. Spurgeon was just outside the top 10. But these leaders are still staying out, coming around to 12 to go. Who is the first leaders to budge? Obviously, Haas was a leader when he pitted, but who's the first of the front 3 or so? Because they're right under blanket. Who's the first of those drivers to budge to come to pit road? So far, it looks like just only those 2 that pitted with around 14 to go. They're the only 2 that have made a call to pit road, and they took 4 tires on it. It was Haas and Spurgeon. What can they do with those 4 tires? Ray, once again, has never gone a lap without battling someone. He's going to battle Thompson again for a second. He's not giving that spot up. He knows that 5 car has that team's just faster than him. So he knows if he lets him go, he might not be able to ever be able to catch him. So he's hoping they can just keep second and hope Bardo falls back to them. But the more they battle, the more Bardo able to keep the lead. And the more they battle, here comes Sierra and Jericho in 4th and 5th. They now gain. Now we're nearing 10 to go, so we're nearing the point of where pit stops are going to start happening. If you're going to have to pit, it's going to be soon. At the front, it's 4 fast Chevrolets, 1 fast Pontiac. That's the top 5. Our highest Ford is 7th place. That's Roush Racing, Nathan Stapleton. With 10 to go, the leaders are still staying out on the racetrack, confident with how far they can go. There's Haas and Spruta, but once again, look at this. No one has come down besides those two still. And maybe if you're Ray, Thompson, Sierra, do you try and undercut Trey Bardo right here and try and make it a race? Maybe a race to pit road. And still stay out. Come around to 9 to go, and there's Wells. He's kind of holding up this train, I would maybe think. He has some fast cars behind him. See what they can do. Try and get around. But still at the front. This battle for a second, it's never going to go away. It's Ray and Thompson, they've been battling for forever. Now Sierra's right there as well, so they're all kind of stuck together currently for that 2nd spot, but pit stop looming. You don't want to battle too much as Sierra's going high. They're going to see some drivers come down pit road. Sierra's going to stay out another lap, but here we go. The leaders are pitting. Bardo will lead them on, and we have a few staying out. Sierra stays out, Wells stays out, Richardson and Evans stay out, Strickland stays out. They do not want to get congested in pit road. They want to try to go as long as they can to make sure they can get some time. Look at Agita entering pit road. Did they make it? If they did make it, that was a great entry. So now what do the leaders do, like Bardo and Thompson? Do they take 2 or 4? They can see some more cars are coming just a lap prior. They were kind of towards the back of the field, but with 8 to go, the leaders have pitted. But some big names like Sierra and Wells and Richardson, Evans and Strickland have stayed out. Mitchell Collins also stayed out in the 12. What do the leaders do on pit road? Jericho 2 and go. Bardo 2 and go. It's a 2-tire call. Jericho's pit crew gets some spots. He's going to be out right behind Bardo. Well, not right behind him. He's going to be out behind him. Where are cars like Haas and Spurley, who took 4 tires on the stop? Did they use those 4 tires well? So far, I don't see them. There's Haas. So, I mean, it's not going to be a net loss. He has 4 tires. He may be able to actually get Ray on this. Haas up to 4th currently, but how does Strickland and all these drivers do on pit road? Sierra down and away. Wells and Evans down and away. Sierra gets halted by Wells, who might win the race off pit road of these drivers, but where's Trey Bardo, who led entering pit road? Looking for that 3 car to come on the right side of the screen. There he goes. Trey Bardo maintains the lead of this race off of pit stops. And Wells, I think, is going to get to 2nd. Sierra might get to 3rd. That was a really good stop for Mathis Wells, though. I mean, he came in, what, 6th place, 7th place, and he's up bound for 2nd. But look at Jack Haas. Does he have enough laps is the question. He has 4 tires. These guys have 2. Can he find a way around them? He's faster, but at this moment now he's stuck on the outside because of Roger Ray. And he has to gain over 2 seconds in 6 laps. He is faster, but is he that much faster? He'll get to 4th. He'll get to 4th as he gets by Mathis Wells. Now he's looking for 3rd on Roger Ray. The quicker he can get by, the better it is for him, because up the road by 2 seconds is number 3. He'll come around to 5 to go for Trey Bardo. He has a decent gap, but Jack Haas is on 4 fresh tires. Bardo is on 2. The gap closed that time. And up ahead he has Mitchell Collins, a lap car, but there's Hernandez leaving pit road. Obviously a difficult day for Hernandez, who started obviously on pole, but Haas is through to 2nd now. This is going to be a race. Haas on 4 tires, 1.9 back last lap, come to 4 to go. Does he have the time to catch Trey Bardo on 4 tires? That strategy call pays out. It's also going to pay out for Riley Spurtube. He was not going to finish top 10. He's going to be well inside the top 10, possibly going to finish 8th, maybe even higher. What's the gap for Haas? Down to 1.5. Gained 4 tenths in 4 laps. That would not be enough, though. He needs more. I mean, those 4 tires, though, they can only get better, right? Haas has gapped Jericho and Ray. It's going to be about for 3rd between those two. Thompson nowhere to be seen in the 5 car, down in 12th place. Not the day he was wanting. As Idell's now from Spurtube up to 8th on those 4 tires. Might get Strickland as well. For Jack Haas, he has 3 laps to go. The gap up to Trey Bardo is now down to a 2nd. He gained 5 tenths that lap. Half a second faster for Jack Haas. In 3 laps, does he have time and patience to get around Trey Bardo? It's all coming down to some thrilling conclusion on tire strategy at Las Vegas. Who would have thought some tire strategy could play into this? And Bardo may be getting affected a little bit by dirty air from the 12 car. Even if Haas does not win this race, what a strategy call to make that work out and come this close. He only gained 3/10 that lap. He needs more with 2 to go. I mean, he'd be a 10th short at the checkered flag. That's how close it's going to be. There you see Haas, how much he's gaining, how hard he's driving this race car. But Trey Bardo, in his final season, has come take the white flag, looking for a win. Jack Haas on 4 tires is looking for his first ever win. The man with the most wins, the man looking for his first. White flag, final lap for Trey Bardo. How does Mitchell Collins factor in? It looks like Bardo looks to go inside of Collins to turn 1. But he gets a little slowed. Here comes Jack Haas in the 93. What can Haas do in turns 3 and 4? Bardo has the 12 still ahead of him. He'll look low. Can Haas try some dive bomb? Bardo and Collins get stalled. Haas gets to the back of Trey Bardo. Can he get back in the gas to get back around to the checkered flag? He cannot. Trey Bardo wins in his final season at Las Vegas. Haas needed one more lap. What a tire call it was for Jack Haas's team, though. That was incredible. The winner may be Trey Bardo, but Jack Haas just won a lot of people's hearts with that gutsy drive in the 93 car on those 4 tires. Oh my gosh, what a race it was for Jack Haas to try and catch Trey Bardo there. That was outstanding. But Trey Bardo wins once again in the Winston Cup Series at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Let's take a look at the finish results. Trey Bardo wins this race, dominating when he leads the most laps en route to victory. Jack Haas on the 4 tires almost steals one in the 93. A great strategy call, just needed one more lap to get it done. A 10th back, ends up in 2nd. Chris Jericho, good way to back up his win at 3rd place. Roger Ray, 4th place, and 5th place to Brett Sierra. Back-to-back top 5s for Sierra. What a great recovery after the miserable first 3 races for him. Matthews Wells ends up in 6th place, so Joe Gibbs Racing once again 2 cars inside the top 10, 3rd and 6th. Lathan Strickland, 7th place from a bad starting spot. Same with Roger Ray, his teammate. So Andy Peach Racing, 4th and 7th. Great day for them. How about Robert Yates Racing? Riley Spurley-Tube. He also had the 4 tire call. He was just a little bit further back than Jack Haas was, but Spurley-Tube came in, I think, 14th onto pit road, ends up in 8th place. So definitely a very, very big net gain for Spurley-Tube. Zidell might be the points leader with the 9th place finish, and Nathan Stapleton completes the top 10. He needed a good run as well in the 97. Keegan Thompson ends up 11th place after leading a lot of laps early on. Definitely not what Thompson wanted out of the day. Jay Randall, a solid 12th place finish for him. 13th to Conrad Evans. That'll be a good day moving up in points. How about Mitch Corbett in that Haas Carter Motorsports car? 14th after failing inspection. Mitch Corbett, what a great day it was. TJ Lance to be thrilled with the way his team performed. Matthew Bennett was up front for a lot of this day, but ends up in 15th. George Stout, great recovery after being involved in that crash. He ends up in 16th. Nolan Lawrence, Corbett's teammate, ends up in 17th. Haas Car Motorsports brought some race cars here to Las Vegas. It'll be great to see what they can do in the future races. Keyshawn Richardson gets 18th, Luke Rainey 19th, and Jacob Boyd, good recovery, 20th place after not starting well, not racing well. Ryan Wilson also failed inspection, 21st for the 44, so the 2 cars that failed post-qualifying inspection did really well in the race here. Corbett got top 15, Wilson just outside the top 20. Jimmy Stanworth Jr., good run. He had good practice pace, did not have the qualifying result to show for it, but Stanworth 22nd. How about Logan Williams, Noah Clifton, and Sergio Guita, all top 25. Those are some really, really small teams that did well. Kukulon, fade back to finish at 26th. How about Baird and Ruiz, both 27th and 28th. Caden Lynn back to 29th. Definitely not what Team Savco wants. Both their cars did not finish well. Walker Davis with 30th place. DeLello 31st. Jose Mills started at the back, 32nd. There's Harrison Reed, not the day he wanted, obviously. 33rd for him. Colin Teague, 34th. And Eli Bright, 35th. DI cars look fast, but they both finished 35th or worse. Disastrous race day for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Yepez and Iger both had solid starts to the season, but not good days here. Obviously, Mitchell Collins, 1 lap down after damage, and obviously Chung out, and Anthony Hernandez 2 laps down from pole position. Hernandez can just not shake the gremlins on that 1 car to kick off the first 5 races this season. But talk about some thrilling conclusion here at Las Vegas. Trey Bardo, it may show in the record books that he dominated this race. However, a 1/10 of a second margin of victory does not even describe how close it was for Bardo. One more lap, half a lap more, and Jack Haas would have flown around and won this race with 4 fresh tires on 93 when a gutsy pit call for that 93 team and the 28 team to do what they did. For Jack Haas, it almost paid off in the forms of a win. With that team can do pit calls like that later on in the season, I think that they can maybe get a victory or two, maybe steal some on strategy for sure. What an amazing run it was for Jack Haas from the field. And for Trey Bardo, gets a win in his final season, but something tells me that might not be his last. He's looking to try and win a championship to go out with to retire in his career. Bardo wins another NASCAR Winston Cup Series race here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Well, if you thought this one was crazy, the next race, race number 6 on JRTV, going to be very, very insane. We're going racing at the Texas World Speedway, the Mall.com 400 for that one. That's going to be a fun race for sure. What a high-banked, fast racetrack. We're going to be seeing some drafting come into play for sure there in College Station, Texas. That's going to be a very fun one to watch and see who can perform at one of the fastest racetracks we'll go to on this Winston Cup Series schedule. Congratulations once again to Trey Bardo on winning a race in his final NASCAR Winston Cup Series season. Thanks for watching JRTV's presentation of the CarsDirect.com 400 at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We'll see you guys next week for Texas World.